everybody, it's me, Nooch Too Good, your Star Wars dad, and I am here with my 2023-2024 Hyperdrive Bundle Farming Guide. It was about a year ago that I started my own Hyperdrive account with the goal of unlocking Executor, and yeah, it's been a great year. You guys have followed the account along the way. If you haven't, go check out my Hyperdrive playlist. You're gonna have a lot of fun in there. So we've been doing it for a year, and it was about maybe 11 months ago, maybe a year, that we published our very first Hyperdrive Bundle Farming Guide. And now, a year later, things are fairly similar. There's been some changes, some updates, some new ways of going about things that we might think of. But this is going to be your 2023-2024 Hyperdrive Bundle Farming Guide. Now, if you unlock the Hyperdrive Bundle today, and let's say you're in March 2024, I don't know, whatever. We don't know what the game's gonna look like then, and they do tend to drop major changes that just change how we're doing everything. That's how this game is going right now. It's like, hey, were you taking forever to get Luke and Jabba? Well, boom, now you can farm everything much easier. So we don't know what's gonna look like 6-9 months from now, whatever. But I believe here a couple months before the end of the year, we can carry you through the end of 2023 and into 2024, and maybe well into 2024. And this farming guide will serve you well, even deep into 2024, even if you're looking at different farms. And I do feel like a year from now, you can kind of see behind me, and I'm just going to leave that up, the Galactic Legend Leia farm. I feel like a year from now, that's going to be the starting path. I don't see any way that doesn't become the starting path for every Hyperdrive bundle in a year, but we'll talk more about that as we go. So let's take a look here. Before you purchase, this is really, really important, guys, and guys and girls, sorry about that, ladies. Before you purchase the Hyperdrive bundle, there's a couple of really important things you gotta do. First, if you've never played the game, and even if you have played the game, play the game. Play the game for 3 to 7 days minimum. You can even go through like level 40, 50, 60. Actually, 3 to 7 days will get you to level 40 something, but you can even go to like level, whatever. Play the game for a while. If you've never played, you kind of get used to the mechanics, you understand what's going on, you see what's out there, you know, you get some free characters off the bat. It's really important that you play the game before you unlock the Hyperdrive bundle, whether you are a new player or not. It's just because you're gonna get a bunch of extra crystals. If you play the game for 4 days, you're gonna have like something like 1,000 crystals in your account that you've accumulated over time. You've gotten from, you know, different accomplishments, achievements. We'll talk about those achievements. I'm saying here right now, do not cash in your achievements. And when I'm saying that, I'm speaking specifically of any achievement that has Darth Vader in it. And if I can, there we go. Any achievement that's got Darth Vader shards in it, do not cash in that achievement, because the deal with the Hyperdrive bundle is going to give you a bunch of characters in the game, including Darth Vader. It's going to take them all to 5 stars, but any extra shards you have are not going to be added on top of that 5 stars. And let me explain what I mean. If you've got Darth Vader there, and you've unlocked him, or let's say you've got 50 Darth Vader shards, and boom, you pop the Hyperdrive bundle, okay? It's gonna give you a 5-star Darth Vader, but it's not gonna give you a 5-star Darth Vader plus 50 more shards. Those 50 shards disappear. True for any character. Farm Boy Luke, the shards disappear. If you have Veers at 5 stars when you unlock the Hyperdrive bundle, you're not gonna get those 5 stars. Just be aware that you don't get extra shards from the Hyperdrive bundle. You only get the shards to what you need for 5 stars for all the characters you get, okay? And I didn't actually pull up the Hyperdrive bundle. I guess what we'll do that in between here. So before you unlock the Hyperdrive bundle, I want you to not cash in any achievements that have Darth Vader shards in them. And what'll happen is you'll be able to unlock Darth Vader at 7 stars really quickly, like in a day or 2, if you save all those achievements. Now let's take a look at the Hyperdrive bundle itself and see what's actually in that thing. All right, everybody, we're here on my free-to-play account where I have never cashed in the Hyperdrive bundle, so it's sitting right here, $49.99. 50% off. It's always 50% off. It's just where it is now. The highlights, you upgrade 65 characters. It says up to 65 characters, and it says that because you may have already upgraded them, it's not going to give you extra upgrades, right? up to 16 ships, gear and resources, and activity access. People always ask, is it worth it just for the gear? We'll take a look here in a second. You unlock all the light, dark, and cantina side battle stages 1 through 8. You get the penultimate challenge tiers. You get the mod battle stages 1 to 8. The characters you get are all right here. The Phoenix, you get a bunch of rebels, you get some smuggler vet Hans, you get your Rogue One characters, you get a bunch of Jedi. You're getting all these characters at 5-star level 80. It's just gonna get you head started on those guys. Yeah, Darth Nihilus is in there. We got cities, we got a bunch of First Order characters. So you get a bunch of characters unlocked at 5-star level 80 in the Hyperdrive bundle. The ships, there you go. You're gonna get the Slave One, Xanadu Blood, IG-2000, really important ships we'll talk about here in a minute. Get your Phoenix ships. These are the ships you get unlocked through the Hyperdrive bundle as well. The resources, 20 million credits, 10 million shipbuilding materials, 2,000 crystals. Those 2,000 crystals alone make up for a big chunk of value out of that Hyperdrive bundle. 5,000 of these Galactic War tokens, 5,000 Cantina Battle tokens, 5,000 Squad Arena tokens. You get a bunch of Omegas, you get a bunch of Zetas, you get a bunch of energy, 500 energy for all the nodes. Hey man, you get Chirotechs. Look at those Chirotechs. A lot of gear, you know, a lot of resources and gear that you get through. And this, honestly, if you combine everything else, the energy, the crystals, if you're gonna get a bunch of characters, I think if you have every character farmed, it may not be worth it to do it this way. But if you have not farmed every character, it's really gonna make a lot of sense for you to unlock this Hyperdrive bundle. And there it is all together. Oh, by the way, you get a bunch of little PFPs here for it. Yeah, whatever. That's not real useful. But anyway, that's what's in the Hyperdrive bundle. Take a look at your account. See if you want to do it today. If it's worth it for you. It's worth it for most accounts. Most accounts that are not maxed out and under level 85, it'd be worth it for... I can't think of an account that'd be under level 85 that would not be worth to pop the Hyperdrive bundle on and get a bunch of stuff. So let's get back to the farming guide now. Okay, we've covered what's in the Hyperdrive bundle, what you should do before unlocking it. Let's have a word about the Endor raid. You know, we've had the Crate Dragon raid in game for, I don't know, whatever it is, 6, 7, 8 months right now. And now the Endor raid is about to come out with characters like Admiral Akbar, 3PO, a bunch of Imperial Troopers, a bunch of Rebels, a bunch of Ewoks. Basically, Ewoks, Rebels, and Imperial Troopers are what you're looking at for the Endor raid. I just want to have a word about this. The raids are going to be changing. I think they said every 6 to 8 months they're going to change up the raids in the game. The primary raid, right? From Crate Dragon to Endor raid to I don't know what's next. I don't know what's next. So they're going to keep rotating these in and out. So while you could farm a team or teams for this, and as we go through the farming guide I got here, there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of opportunity to farm teams like Imperial Troopers or a Commander Luke Skywalker team that's got Chewbacca and Han Solo and 3PO in it, Wedge, Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. There's a lot of opportunity to farm these characters, your Ewoks to get 3PO. I just don't think that new accounts or accounts that are just unlocking Hyperdrive, I don't believe you should be tailoring a roster specifically to go straight for raid stuff, because the raids are, like we said, they're going to change every 6 to 8 months. So you don't want to be pulling up and just getting these teams, farm all these are the characters I farm just for this, just to get them open for the raid, because that raid will be gone after a while. So I just wanted to say a word about that. I don't want to neglect it. The raids are really important. If you're early on, you may only be doing like the Heroic Sith raid or something in your guild, which is where my guild is now. I think they're trying the Rancor now in my free-to-play account, but it's not going to go super great. Or excuse me, not the Rancor, the Crate Dragon. All the big beasties. Anyway, so there's the raid. You'll get some teams along the way. I just don't recommend farming specifically for raids, because you'll be doing different farms every 6 months. Maybe you're gonna just tailor your farms after every time a raid comes out. You're gonna just farm for it. I don't know. I don't really like that, but there you go. There's a word about raids. Okay, there are certain characters that belong on every roster, and they fit onto any roster you get. These are the Everymen. They belong everywhere. Darth Vader is a character that should be 7-starred, relict, have his Zetas, have Merciless Massacre, the Merciless Massacre Zeta on every roster. Wampa and Savage Opress with their Omicrons. Wampa now is a pretty easy unlock with your raid currency and your Get One currency, your guild event token from territory battles. She's a pretty easy unlock now. You get the Omicron, and boom, that's an entire team for you in Grand Arena, and the same thing for swgoh Press. But he's even an easier unlock. You unlock him in the Squad Arena shop, 7 stars, throw an Omicron on him, boom, he's a one-man wrecking crew in early Grand Arena for you, and later he becomes part of like a Treya team or another Sith team, can do a lot of amazing things for you in Grand Arena. We look at the Geos. I'm still not backing off the Geos, guys. I still, 8 years into this game, I still see Geos for a new account as almost always a requirement. You know, if you get a good Geo team, you get into a Geonosis Territory Battles Guild, you start getting Get 1 and Get 2 currency, you start stepping up your currency, you get more gear from that Geo Territory Battle Guild. You're probably not going to be in a guild that's doing the Rise of the Empire Territory Battles for a while. Maybe, hey, maybe you know somebody, maybe you got connections, congratulations, go get it done, I guess. You're going to be missing those Watt shards later in the game. It's kind of the progression of territory battles. You get Leia shards at the beginning, then you get Watt shards, then later on you get the Cam shards, then you go to Rote and get those Reva shards, but whatever, man. I still think the Geos are really important, even early to mid-game. You know, that Malevolence fleet is important all the way through the end game. It still is, and I realize it's not in the meta fleet right now, but it's still like the fourth or fifth best fleet in the game, and you need 6 fleets in Kyber Grand Arena, so that Malevolence is not going away. The Geos are a really important farm, and they're a really, really good team with Geobird Alpha at the front of them in early levels of Grand Arena. And then Bosk and the Houndstooth. I've said it once, I've said it a million times. As soon as the Bosk nodes open, which for you Hyperdrive folks is going to be on day 1, farm Bosk every single day of your life. Farm the Houndstooth every single, it's in the Jango Fett node. Farm the Houndstooth and Bosk every day of your life until you have them at 7 stars. You get them geared up. The Houndstooth is still the ultimate ship, it's plug and play. It goes into any roster as a massive tank. It eventually ends up in your executor roster, your executor fleet roster. The whole roster is there, but in your executor fleet as you move forward, that Houndstooth, you cannot avoid it. You've got to have it in your roster. These are the Everymen. There's some more that you guys are probably thinking about there. Let me know who you think has to be in every roster, but these are the guys I'm starting with right now. Moving forward, what are the different farming paths? As we move into the Hyperdrive bundle, there's a bunch of different farming paths you can really focus on to drive your roster forward, and you have to have a plan. Where there is no plan, the people perish. So you have to have a plan as you move forward. And some of those basic plans, a Fleet Arena team is at the top of everyone's list. Get to the top of Fleet Arena. Get your crystals every day. You get 400 crystals for finishing at the top of Fleet Arena. So Fleet Arena team has long been, and that's how I did my Hyperdrive account. I went right after the Executor. That's Fleet Arena. Grand Arena. If I did a new Hyperdrive account, I might focus on Grand Arena and really dial in and try to win as much Grand Arena, because I enjoy playing Grand Arena more than I enjoy playing Fleet Arena. And at the end of the day, we're playing a game, so if we're not enjoying it, or we're gonna get the most enjoyment out of it, for me, Grand Arena is the most enjoyment. Core teams, you know, this is AP Gaines' as farming guide. If you want to look up AP Gaines, go look him up. He is the author of this. It is not mine. I don't own it. But this is just farming core teams that are not Galactic Legends. We'll take a look at those later. Hey, Rise of the Empire, Rote Territory Battle Big Timer. If you want to be a big timer and you want to jump into one of those big late game Rise of the Empire Territory Battle guilds where you can get Reva shards right off the bat, maybe this is your farming path, the Rote Big Timer, and then Freestyle. Hey, do whatever you want. Do what you like. Farm, do what you like. Farm what you like. I ain't even got that song. It's an old song. Anyway, those are your main farming paths that you're going to follow. I'm sure you got something creative and interesting. I see creative and interesting rosters all the time. I see Dr. Afra Farms as the first farm. I see lots of great farms on the channel doing rosters, but these are the I think generally agreed upon primary farming paths. Primary farming paths for you. Hey man, if you don't watch the whole video, you miss out on little moments like that. A lot of farting and farking on the channel. Fleet Arena. Let's talk about Fleet Arena. So this is the first path you got. What's the goal of Fleet Arena? Click crystals, crystals, crystals. When you climb to the top of Fleet Arena, and I can show you here right now. I'm not even going to show you. Go look in your game. Go take a look at the rewards in Fleet Arena. At the top of Fleet Arena, position 1 is 400 crystals, 2 is 375, 3 is 350. You can get those crystals every single day on your roster. Crystals are the most important currency in the game. Crystals, they cost a lot of money if you're not earning them every day. Crystals. Fleet Arena is all based around your crystals. And how do you maximize your push toward crystals in Fleet Arena with a Hyperdrive bundle? It is generally going to be the Executor. Now, I know some of you are standing up saying, well, Leviathan is the meta right now. Profundity beats the Fleet, the Executor. I get it. Those fleets beat the Executor. Executor can't beat them. However, if you want to look at the lowest hanging fruit for one of our 3 GL capital ship fleets, that's going to be Executor, Profundity, and Leviathan right now. The easiest one to get is going to be Executor. And the Executor, by the way, the farming path for Executor also leads you to a Profundity fleet. So you almost always want to unlock Executor before Profundity, because for Profundity to work right, you have to have the Millennium Falcon. And what do you need for the Millennium Falcon? All of these bounty hunter ships. So if you're going to do that, you need them for the Executor. You might as well go get Executor first and Profundity down the road. And boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, don't listen to anybody that tells you the Executor is useless now. That person might be sitting in an 8-year-old Fleet Arena fleet, or a 7-year-old Fleet Arena fleet, or a really old and established Fleet Arena shard, Fleet Arena shard is what I'm trying to say, where the people at the top all have Leviathan, and these are, everybody in the top 50 is like a Kyber 1 or 2 or 3 player. They've got all the stuff, even free to play, they've been able to get it over time. If you're starting off a new account, you're going to be in a new Fleet Arena. You may run into 1 Leviathan down the road, 1 Profundity. The majority of players are going to get these Executors, and yeah, the mirror matches are not that fun with Executor, but the Executor is the clearest and simplest and easiest path for a new account to get to the top of Fleet Arena. And by the way, those bounty hunter ships we're showing on the screen there, those work really great with Tarkin and the Executrix. They were, you'll be able to stay at the top of Fleet Arena until people start getting Executors with a Tarkin, with an Executrix, and these bounty hunter ships leveled up with the pilots geared up in the relic levels too. So just keep that in mind. These bounty hunter ships on a Hyperdrive bundle, if you're going to free to play, you got to get the Geos first. That's the only way to go. If you're going on a Hyperdrive bundle, it's the bounty hunter ships. That's how you go. And one little note here for all of you boys and girls that are farming the Executor, this is really important. Please, 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 for the love of God, it happens all the time. I yell at people on a daily basis because they're farming the Executor and they forgot the TIE Bomber, or they got everything ready for Executor and they've only got the TIE Bomber at 4 or 5 shards. The TIE Bomber, if you farm it, that node once a day, it takes you 6 months to farm. If you refresh it every day, it'll be 3 months to farm. Don't neglect the TIE Bomber. It's going to take time. And by the way, on a Hyperdrive bundle, if you're going to spend some extra money and keep your I did this. I unlocked the Executor in 6 months by keeping constantly keeping enough crystals to do 3 fleet battles, 3 regular energy, 3 mod energy, and 3 Cantina battles every day. It took me 6 months doing that, and a little bit of extra cash there at the end. But don't neglect your TIE Bomber, please. We're going to do the Fleet Arena path, okay? Second path, Grand Arena. Now, first of all, like and subscribe. Inquisitor Nooch wants you, if you made it to this point of the video, you want to get more content like this, you want to be a happy person, you want your family to be happy, like and subscribe, everybody. Grand Arena. I'm going to focus on a Galactic Legend for Grand Arena. And right now, the best Galactic Legends to get for you to be successful in Grand Arena are going to be Jedi Master Luke and Jabba. The farming path for them has been opened up in the last 6 months with now you can get Wampa and Rebel Officer Leia Organa and Hermit Yoda with that raid currency. So the farming path is way wide open for these guys in the last 6 months. So I think if you are primarily focused on Grand Arena, and let me give a caveat here. I know that the Executor can hold the back wall in Grand Arena. Like if you get the Executor, you're in let's see here, Carbonite, Bronzium, I don't know, whatever. You're in I think it's Bronzium. You're in low levels of Bronzium, you're in high levels of Carbonite, you get the Executor, you throw it on the back wall, and it holds. And you start moving forward. And I've done that on my Hyperdrive account. That said, you're giving up 3 territories with that. You're giving up the other 3 territories. You just have to. If you're going to do that, you got to keep all your teams for offense, give up the other 3 territories. A Galactic Legend, and going on your way to Galactic Legend, getting Jedi Knight Luke, you'll be able to block off that bottom front wall. You'll be able to block it off from people, and they will not be able to get through your Galactic Legend, and you'll be able to climb higher than you can with the Executor. So I know that the Executor is a Grand Arena strategy as well. I just think if you really want to focus 100% on Grand Arena, a Galactic Legend farm is the #1 way to go. And let's talk about this for a little bit. I focused on a Jedi Master Luke and Jabba because now that you can get those characters, I've talked about Wampa, Rolo, and Hermit Yoda, there's more currency available with the raid currency. These guys are much more attainable than they've ever been. And this used to be an 18-month farm. And I kid you not, and with Hyperdrive might knock it down to 14 or 16 months. Now I think you can do it in 9 months or less. If you're gonna keep spending like $50 a month, you spent 50 on the Hyperdrive bundle, you spend a little more. I think you can do it 9 months or less with the Hyperdrive bundle. You're gonna get these teams. You're gonna get great Grand Arena teams. The CLS team is gonna be there, and that's gonna be great for you. You're gonna farm bounty hunters along the way. Yeah, I put Princess Nisa in there because if you're gonna farm those Ewoks to get 3PO, you might as well do some Nisa farming on the side because she really does elevate those Ewoks and turn them into what can be a really positive Grand Arena team for you. I put the Imperial Troopers because I just think everybody should farm them, and you gotta have 5 Empire to go get R2 to unlock CLS. My choice is Imperial Troopers. They're just a great team. And if you do unlock CLS and your Imperial Troopers, you're going to be able to do great in those 3 assault battles right there. And I can never remember what they're called. The one with the rebels, and then the one where you the one where you fight the Empire is where you're going to use your CLS team. And by the way, if you got a Relic CLS, and almost any Relic level will do with good mods, a Relic Chewbacca and a Relic Han Solo, a Gear 12 3PO and a Gear 12 2PO, you can get all the way to Tier 3 of that with good mods and complete it and just start simming it every time. The other 2, you fight the Ewoks, and then Rebel Roundup is, I got one of them, Endor Escalades and Imperial Vomits. I don't know. I can't remember the name of these assault battles, but hey, these assault battles, being able to get up to the higher, Tier 1, Challenge Tier 1, Challenge Tier 2 of these assault battles is really important for your farming. Every month you're going to be getting Kyrotex, you're going to be getting gear relic gear that you really need. So with that farm, you'll be able to get through at least 3 of these assault battles with these teams you're getting. It's really important. Then we look again, I talked about Wampa, Hermit Yoda, and Rebel Officer Leia Organa. You farm them, you get Jedi Knight Luke. Once you unlock Jedi Knight Luke, if you got some other Jedis to go along with him, you'll probably still be in Carbonite, maybe climbing up to Bronzium. You put Jedi Knight Luke on the front wall with some other Jedi and Hermit Yoda on his team. That's going to be a hold team for you on defense. I'm looking at holding the front wall. Then you're only giving up possibly 2 territories instead of the 3. You give up 3 with the Executor. You can just limit it to 2 territories. If you block that bottom front wall, you can limit it to 2 territories given up with Jedi Knight Luke, and then when you get your Galactic Legend, Jedi Master Luke or Jabba, then you really start holding territories like a master at that point, and you can really advance up to probably Chromium. I can't get the names right, but I think you'll be in Chromium at least with the Galactic Legend on your roster. Then you can pivot over and go get that Executor because you got Bounty Hunters and you got the Imperial Troopers. I do think if you're going to do this path, you're going to go for the Galactic Legend first. Be farming for that Executor in the background, which means TIE Bomber, all your Bounty Hunter ships, go get them as well. Let's talk about the core teams. And yeah, I pulled out an old. You see that the purple background. I pulled out an old video for this. It was easier. Sometimes I built up a treasure trove of content-related graphics. So I pulled out an old one. The core teams. You got your Palpatine and Vader team, you got your CLS team, you got your Padme team, you're going to go probably farm gas along the way. These are the teams without farming a Galactic Legend that can carry you to high levels of Grand Arena, and you're going to run into some Galactic Legends. You got to find ways to beat those GLs. If it's Jabba, you can forget about it. Anybody else you can take care of. Grievous, you're going to get in there, you're going to get your Bounty Hunters, you're going to get your Revens, Darth Revan, Jedi Knight Revan, and you're going to get a Wampa, maybe some Imperial Troopers. Maybe now you get a Phoenix team if you're going to farm Captain Rex in there as well. Get those Ewoks on your way to 3PO. Get the Princess Nisa in there too. But these core teams, It's proven though. Now this was developed back in the old days of Grand Arena when you could climb up to Kyber. Every season was a climb from Carbonite to Kyber for every single player. That's not the case anymore. They don't match up against people with your same galactic power. They match up against people. You might be in Carbonite facing somebody that's got 2, 3, 4 galactic legends. That person probably has not played. They skip Grand Arena a lot, which hopefully you benefit from that. But if not, they can take care of you. That's why I think that this farming strategy, I think it's really good. I think it can get a lot of teams. And by the way, these teams are good for multiple game modes: territory battles, territory wars. You can use them in galactic challenges. You can use them in what is it called? Conquest. You can use them in all different game modes, and that's the benefit. You get a bunch of teams to go in those game modes. However, I believe you need to be getting on Executor and getting on Galactic Legends earlier than this farming. This is probably a year and a half, even with the Hyperdrive bundle, it'll probably be a year and a half of farming for you before you get all this done and start flipping to a Galactic Legend. I think you should be going for Galactic Legend or the Executor capital ship stuff much earlier than the core team's farming. But you know what? It is a legitimate farming strategy. Just farming these teams and holding off on your Galactic Legends till later. Rise the Empire. So you want to be a big timer. You want to be that player that goes in and gets into an end level guild right away. A guild that will accept you into their guild. They're doing Rise the Empire territory battles. You don't care about those Watt shards at all in Geonos' territory battles. You don't care about those Cam shards. You want to get into a Rise the Empire. My buddy the Gerbil did this. You can do it too. You can farm the Inquisitors early and often. It's going to be a 2,000 Kyrotex out of your wallet probably to get them done. But if you farm the Inquisitors early and you supplement with a couple of other teams along the way, you get those Imperial Troopers. You're also farming Executor. You're going to get, maybe you're going to go for Leviathan. Maybe you get a Star Killer team. Well, that's also Kyrotech heavy. Maybe you're farming Imperial, whatever. You're going to be farming other stuff along the way. But if you unlock the Inquisitors early, and it's the one on the bottom row, by the way, those 5 Inquisitors, you get them relicked up to where you can unlock Grand Inquisitor, then you can do the Riva mission in Rise the Empire territory battles, and you're sitting at like 1.5 or 2 million galactic power. You could probably punch your way into like a end game guild that's doing Rise the Empire territory battles because you can get them some Riva shards. Riva is so good, and she is so good in this game. And guilds will take you, and they'll keep you around as long as you promise to keep farming and keep adding to your roster along the way. So, hey, you want to punch up early, you want to do Rise the Empire territory battle right off the bat, go get those Inquisitors, make that your farm, let me know how it works. Go check out Gerbil. I know that he did it. I don't think he's making a series on it or anything, but people have done this. I've even seen free-to-play players who are farming the Inquisitors right off the bat to try to get into that guild. Hey, more power to you. It's not really what I choose to do generally, but you also get 2 assault battles a month require the Inquisitors. So you're going to be opening up a lot of extra gear for yourself later in the game as well. So that's the other farming path. And then finally, we look at the freestyle. Hey, freestyle, man, let's jump over to the game to take a look at this. Right here in the journey guide, there are so many journeys to take. You know, along the way, you're gonna get Grandmaster Yoda, Palpatine, Thrawn. You could start farming for Cal Kestis day 1 right now. You can go get Cal Kestis, your Beskar Mando you need for the Executor. You can look at, I've seen people doing Afra farms. I've seen people doing starting their game with Star Killer farms, with Afra farms, starting their game with the Revens. Again, we talked about the Inquisitors right there. You know, you got the capital ships. I've seen people do Profundity before Executor. I don't really get it, but it's there. There's the Leviathan. You want to open up your wallet big time and get the Leviathan. Hey, man, more power to you. Gas, Malik. We've got the Galactic Legends, all 8 Galactic Legends you can now go get. And again, I believe a year from now that Galactic Legend Leia will be the #1 early farming path for every player. It'll get you so many different teams, so many great farming paths along. There's just a lot you can do in this game right now. If you want to be the freestyler, you want to take your own path in the game, you want to, and you whatever you are going to do. Hey guys, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we're playing a game. It's a game. Whatever makes you happy. If you want to be the most efficient player ever, find that efficiency. Watch my farming guides. Watch AP Gaines farming guides. Watch Darth Loquitur's farming guides. Check out Sanjita out there. Go watch Calvin. Calvin Awesome. I'm missing, I put the Gerbil in there. I'm missing out on Fat Phil, P-H-A-T, Fat Phil. Pretty hot and tempting, baby. I'm missing guys. Who am I missing? Scribe Gaming. Zareth. Guys, There are a million. There's the. I'm missing people. I know I am, and I'm sorry. There are like 30 content creators for this game that you can go follow. They've got farming guides. They got different ideas for you. They got paths. They got ways you can go. Go find the farming guide that fits you the best. I have playlists on my channel. You can watch them. I got multiple farming guides. This is a game where you can go through and do all sorts of fun stuff. You can farm your favorite Star Wars characters. If your favorite character is Reva, let me know in the comments. I don't know if I've met anybody whose favorite character is Reva, but if she is your favorite, I'd love to hear about it. Please let me know. A waste of a really good idea there. Anyway, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we're playing a game. There's a lot of farming paths. There's so many characters you can farm. Make your own decisions. Choose your own adventure. Take that adventure. It's the great thing about this game right now is there's just so much to do. There are so many teams to farm. There's so many paths you can take. The light side, the dark side, the sequel side, the prequel side, the original trilogy, the Clone Wars side. You can, Rebels, you can take all of these paths in the game and enjoy the game, have a blast. So you can be the freestyler and farm whatever you want, man, go for it. And I think that's about all I've got to say today about the Hyperdrive farming. This is my Hyperdrive farming guide for 2023-2024. Subscribe if you want to get more content like this. Hopefully this helps you kind of narrow it down, see what you're going to do, how you're going to take that for Hyperdrive farming. If you're new to the game, if you're a player, maybe you're starting an alt, you're going to do a Hyperdrive bundle, let me know. I'd love to hear from you what you're going to be farming, how you're farming it, what you're doing. That's it. That's all I got. 2023-2024 Hyperdrive Farming Guide. You're all amazing. I love all of you. I hope you have a great day. I will talk to you soon. Always, always remember, Nooch too good.